Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? If you're listening to it at night, going to bed, or if you are on your drive to Starbucks to get your coffee and then do your makeup, or if you're just on your way to Starbucks, or taking your kids to school and you're listening to this like a podcast, or if you're sitting at home doing your makeup or making dinner or cleaning the house, whatever you're doing, thank you for listening and tuning in. I appreciate it. I was reading all the comments right before I left, and so many people were responding like when they listened to it. And also what I loved was how many people shared when you started listening to the vlog and like experiences of your life and how the vlog fit into that. And I don't know, it just was such I was reading it and I was like, this is so cool. It's such an honor to be part of somebody's life, you know. I think that's something I didn't really understand until my mom passed away, you know. And I did a lot of work with myself on grief with my sponsor, and read a lot of books about it, and not necessarily about grief, but just journey in life, and you know, really just did a lot of soul searching, listened to a lot of music, figured out how I really felt about things. And one of the things I really realized, you know, was that it was a privilege and an honor to be a part of my mother's life. And it was really an honor to be there during her passing, to honor, no matter how sad I was, to be part of that was a privilege, you know. And I know that that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Whenever I say that, people either get it immediately or they don't understand it. And I almost think it's something that you have to kind of go through. And part of what I mean is that I've had so many friends of mine that their parents pass, you know, when they're not around, or we have family members that pass in tragedies and things like that. And so the fact that I was able to be by my mother's side, and she was, you know, in a hospital bed surrounded by friends and family members that loved her, and I got to be there for that. It really was an honor, you know. And today I look at my ability to be in people's lives as an honor and a privilege, you know. I really, really do. That people allow me into their life, my friends and my, you know, family, and allow me to welcome them in. A lot of people don't have a lot of friends, and I don't have tons of friends. I think, you know, I say that on here, and I think you guys probably know that, but I think like there's a misconception sometimes that like, oh, you know, Peter has tons and tons. I don't. Like, I really don't. Like, I honest to God have like 2 or 3 friends of mine, you know. And I honestly like spending a lot of time alone too. Like, I don't mind being alone a lot. I enjoy it. So I would say I have, you know, of people that I talk on here about, Tanya and Melissa, you know, obviously are 2 of my very, very dear friends. And then I would say I have, you know, outside of that, probably 2 to 4 other women that I'm really, really close with that are not in sobriety. Well, Valerie, I've talked about Valerie in here, you know, and then I probably have like 2 or 3 other women that I'm really close with. One other one that I see, you know, maybe, well, I would love to see her more. Like, she's always begging me, you know, but like maybe once a month for lunch or something. And, you know, I just don't have a lot of friends, and I'm okay with that today. I'm, you know, I have the friends I want to have, and I have some friends in the making. I have a lot of people that I talk to on the phone, and I have some dear, dear friends that, you know, that don't live in Indianapolis, and that's okay, you know. But to just be part of somebody's life, I think, is amazing. And then I have some sober friends, obviously, too, you know, that I'm close with that don't want to be in camera and stuff like that. But it is so foggy outside tonight, you guys. It's so incredibly foggy. It rained today. My plan was I wanted to sit outside and read today, and it was so like rainy and misty all day today. And then it kind of stopped around 6 in the evening, maybe a little bit. No, it was later than that, I think. and there was this beautiful rainbow outside. It was absolutely beautiful. Actually, Karen asked me in the comment section, she said, did you see the rainbow? I did, Karen. I saw it. It was beautiful. And it was a good day today. Today was a really, really good day. I got up, and anyway, I just want to say, thank you for allowing me to be part of your life. Whenever you turn on the video and listen to it, it really means a lot to me. And I don't take it for granted. So thank you. So my day today, I woke up and had a little bit of time at the house, so I got ready for my training session, and then she is trying to really bust my butt at that training session, let me just tell you, okay? And then I, took care of the dogs, did all that kind of stuff. And then I went to my training session and did that. And then I had this, sobriety thing I had to do in the afternoon. And then I went and got PB's medicine. Was talking on the phone a lot. And then I came home and filmed videos. And then Alex came home right as I was finishing up videos. Oh, it didn't even fall. I thought it was going to. Alex came home as I was finishing up videos. And, let's see, what else? Oh, I know what happened. So Alex came home when I was getting ready to eat my lean and green meal. And he had gotten Chick-fil-A, which I'm a huge Chick-fil-A fan. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. And I was so jealous, and I was ready for my lean and green. And I went in and to get my stuff out to make I was going to have 2 Boca burgers, and then I was going to have a salad. And I only had one of those little lettuce things left, or I had half of one of them. And I was like, now I have to go to the grocery store. I was going to have to go to the Meijer to get this stuff. But I don't have enough time to go and come back and eat it within my time of my fueling, because you're supposed to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. So I ended up just eating a bar, some kind, I think it was I don't know what kind of bar it was. But anyway, I think it was a lemon bar. I basically I had the strawberry shake today, which was actually really, really good. And I even put ice in it, and it was just kind of it tasted a lot have you ever had the Nesquik, is that what it's called? Is it Nestle or Nesquik? I can't think. That strawberry milk. It tasted like that, is what but creamy and really cold, because I had put ice in it, but it wasn't shake material like the other one was. It was good. I would order the strawberry shakes again. I thought they were really, really good. I'm turning around because it is so foggy that I'm trying to kind of stay on really lit roads. And then I had bars the rest of the day. I was going to have my crunchers tonight, but I've got 4 bags left, and I'm trying to save them a little bit because I want to really enjoy those on certain nights. Oh, this stupid camera. I hate when it does this. Come on, camera. Don't make me stop it and turn it off. Did it focus in again? Does it do that a lot and I just don't even notice it because I'm not looking at it? Oh, I know what I did. I filmed a little documentary of Mrs. Birdie's babies and Boo Radley. It was called The Adventures of Boo and Steve. And, oh my God, they are getting so big, you guys. And Mr. and Mrs. Birdie. Well, first of all, here, I hope I can remember to do this. I'm going to put the video in that I did of Boo and Steve in just a second, but it was so cute. It didn't so I was walking in and I could see them. They were all putting their heads up, and I had to stay back 3 feet. I didn't want to get anywhere near the nest. I had to stay back 3 feet and what do you call it? Focus in. And so it looks like I'm real close, but I'm not real close, actually. So I've focused in on them. They're so cute, you guys. They are getting so big. And So then I took the dogs out back, and I was running around with Boo Radley, and so I filmed his part of it and spliced it together, and now I'm the documentarian of the world. I always wanted to make a documentary. It's my very first documentary. So, would you guys like to see it? Here it is. This is called, I put this up on my Facebook page today. This is called, I Bring You Now, the award-winning documentary directed by Peter Monn. In the cast, Boo Radley and Steve the Bird. The Adventures of Boo and Steve. Where's your baby brother, Steve? I told you, don't even worry about it. I'm my own person. Well, where is he? We're traveling around the world. Don't even worry about it. I'm taking him out of this hellhole. Quit following me around with that camera. I don't like the paparazzi. You know I'm a famous person. Boo Radley, I'm just trying to, hey, I'm having a spa day here. I'm gonna take my baby brother Steve on. We're gonna have a spa day. Boo Radley. Oh my Lord, look at all the babies. They're so hungry. There's Steve in the background. He wants some worms. There's Lois. Hey, Lois. There's Louie. And there's Linda. She seems like she's asleep right now. Hey, Linda. How are you doing, gal? Steve said, where's Boo Radley? I'm ready to play. Lois said, who is this person up here right now? Why are you bothering us? I want to see my baby brother Steve. Where is he? Where is he? I want to see Steve. I want to see my baby brother Steve. Where's your baby brother Steve? I told you, don't even worry about it. Why are you following me around with that camera? I don't like the paparazzi. Boo Radley, where is he? I'm about to rescue him out of this hellhole. Don't even worry about it. We're our own people. We're going to go to Hawaii and eat pineapples. We're going to snorkel. You are. We're going to Texas, and we're going to do the boot, scoot, and boogie and get in the rodeo. You are? Boo Radley. He's my baby brother. He's my baby brother, not yours. Leave me alone. So that was my very first documentary that I've ever made. Did you guys like that? I thought that was fun. I don't know why, I'm just like thinking of this. I'm like, that is so something that my dad would have done back in the day. And then, oh, the other thing is, I got these, what do you call it? I sat out on the front porch, and Mr. and Mrs., both of them, Mr. and Mrs. Birdie are out there. They both feed the babies. So now both parents are coming and feeding the babies. And here, if I remember, I will put a little screenshot somewhere on here of Mr. and Mrs. Birdie standing right next to each other. And you can see Mrs. Birdie is trying to put the worm in Mr. Birdie's mouth. They're so cute. I also have a video of them kind of walking around each other. If you want to see it, let me know and I'll put it in the video tomorrow. But they're like walking around each other, and they're kind of like walking back and forth. And even with me sitting, I was probably, I don't know, like in the carriage lights up here, and like my gliders down here, like in the corner. So there's probably like a 10-foot distance. They would fly up there with me sitting right there, and I would like turn, and I mean, I literally, like, I had it like so scanned up that I was like, it looks like I'm right up on it. And there is like just flooded water everywhere on the side of the road, and potholes everywhere. And somebody, I can't remember who said it. Oh, I feel bad. I'm sorry. I wish I would have remembered who said this. But somebody said, if you hate potholes, you should come to Detroit. Detroit, Rock City. So anyway, but I turned my camera up, or my phone up. I was like sitting out there reading a little bit. It had like stopped raining for a while, so I was sitting out there reading, and I like turned my phone up, and I got just a little bit of one of them feeding. I have all these video clips. I'm sure you guys don't want to see any of these video clips, right? You're like, no, we're good with the Mr. Boo Radley. We're good with the Boo and Steve. I think me having a white shirt on in this video and in this car, like, really, like, washes it out. Unless I'm looking right at the camera, I feel like the light kind of goes dim on here. Not that it really matters, but I'm actually going to pull in here somewhere and see if I can show you guys this video. And then I will put to rest the story of the birds tonight. It is literally, here, I'm gonna show you guys before I turn in here since the road is dead. It's like a ghost town tonight. Do you guys see how foggy it is? I mean, it is really, really foggy out tonight. And there's like no cars on the road. It's like a ghost town. And it's 2:22 a.m. Detroit, Rock City. Okay. Well, I was going to show you a picture of my rainbow, but you probably can't see it. Okay, oh, it doesn't even show. That's stupid. There's Mr. and Mrs. Birdie. You see them? Both of them? Well, now they're like, you can't see them really on the screen, but... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, I also talked to Elle Leary for a long time. We talked forever on the phone today. She is one of the most inspirational, motivational people I have ever met in my entire life, and I know she watches every single one of these vlogs. Elle, I love you. I adore you. You are such a dear friend to me. I just couldn't talk enough about you to my husband tonight. We had such a great talk. I'm going to try to go out and visit her at some point. But anyway, if you guys don't know who Elle Leary is, she is a beauty influencer, and she's just absolutely fantastic. She's the real deal. I love her so much. And I will link her channel below so you guys can go check her out if you haven't. I've linked her below before because she's been like really nice and sent me a bunch of things. Dun dun dun. I also have some special news for you guys. Peter has a new candle company, or new candle coming. So if you didn't know, what you don't know is a lot. I had 2 candles that I made. So this is how the whole thing happened. So the Poorhouse Candle Company is this fantastic woman, and she had sent me a box of candles, like, I don't know, like a year ago or something. It's so funny how this whole thing went down. I was actually talking to Rich Lux about it, and I was like, this is so funny because, like, of how it all started. I don't know why it's doing this with the lighting, but it's driving me crazy. But I'm sure you guys are like, Peter, we're not even looking at the screen, so we could really care less. But anyway, so she's so fantastic, and she sent me some of her candles. Now, y'all know I don't like to, you know, talk about stuff that I don't like, and I give real honest reviews. These candles were so good. I mean, so good, right? And so I was super, super impressed with them, and I was like, I love these candles so much. So we were sitting there, and they were burning, and they smelled so good, right? And Alex is like, these candles are unbelievable. And I was like, I know, right? And he was like, what if you, like, have you reached out to her? Maybe she would do a candle with you. And I was like, what? I think this is how it happened. It was like Alex's idea, I think. And I could actually find out. I could, like, go back and look and see. But he was like, yeah, you should, like, reach out and see if, like, she'd be willing to do a candle with you. And I was like, that's actually a really cute idea, because I always talk about being a candle review company. I love candles. Y'all know that. Okay, I'm obsessed with candles and candle waxes. And I was like, that's a really good idea. You know, maybe I'll reach out to her and see if she wants to do that. I think that's how it happened. Hold on a second. I want to make sure, because I want to make sure I'm not telling the story wrong. Starts in here. Okay, so yeah, that is exactly how it happened. And I reached out to her, and she was like, I was thinking about asking you anyway if you wanted to do that, right? And so we came up with the 2 candles. I told her that I wanted to have a Halloween candle. So we did Peter's Haunted House. That smells like, what do you call it? It smells like autumn. It smells like Halloween. It's fantastic. I love it. It smells like apples and cinnamon and coffee and leaves. It's just like, it's great. This candle is so great. It's kind of hard to pinpoint actually what the smell is. And so I really wanted to do that. And then I said, well, why don't we just do like a, like a Peter Monn candle or whatever that I can do for my drama channel. And so she called it Peter Monn's Drama Class. And she said, what do you want it to smell like? And I said, well, what if it just smelled like my cologne? And she said, okay. And so she said, what colognes do you wear? And at that time, I wear Creed a lot now, although I've been out of it since my trip. And I'm just not gonna go in there and buy it until, I want a bottle of it for the summer, so I'm waiting till kind of like mid to end. It's so expensive, you guys. It's a real special treat for me. And my last squirt was in Mexico, the day that we got on the plane. I literally like put my last squirt of it on. And I said, Alex, should I bring this back? And he was like, you should bring it back because you've probably got another squirt in there. I was like, the bottle is really heavy. And I was like, for one squirt, it could be like, you know what I mean? On the plane and stuff. So I like squirt it, and I couldn't get any more squirts out of it. And I was like, it's gone. I don't want to go spend all this money on another bottle of cologne. It's really expensive, you guys, but it's totally worth it. I've never had a cologne in my life where people stop me as much as they do with this Creed. It is fantastic. So I'm kind of trying to save a little bit of money. I have so a couple months ago, I started this thing where I put a little bit of money aside for things I want, every week. So I'll put $50 aside, and then if there's something I want, I go get it, right? So I'm kind of waiting until that money gets up there, and then I'll go get the Creed, and then I won't feel bad about it because I'll have the money at the, set aside that I've been saving to go do something fun with. But it is expensive. But anyway, she asked me at the time, she was like, oh, what colognes do you wear? And I wear Michael Kors. I wore, and I still do, wear Michael Kors for men, although I need a new bottle of that. I'm completely out. And Chanel Blue. And so she was like, okay, I'm gonna make this candle up. I'm gonna order the oils and stuff or whatever she does. I don't know how she does it, makes these candles. And all of her, what do you call it? All of her, the things around the, what do you call it? I don't know. She just asked me tonight, what do I want the candle to actually look like? But anyway, she makes people into cartoon figures and stuff like that. You guys, she has these Harry Potter candles on there, but they're not called Harry Potter candles. They're called Mrs. Weasley's cupboard and stuff. They are fantastic. Some of her candles on there, you would never in a million years guess. The names of them are so cute. Luca's Diner and stuff like that. But then you get them and you smell them and they're just so good. And they burn so strong. And I get a lot of people that send me candles. And hey, if you make your own candles, send them to me because I'm going to start reviewing them on my review channel. And I'll review anything. Y'all want to send me candles or homemade soaps or whatever, I'll review it on my channel. But anyway, so that's what we did. And we came up with those candles. Well then, and Rich and I have been friends through this whole thing, and it never really came up, and he didn't say anything to me about the candles. And then one night he was like, oh my God, I have to tell you, those candles that you did? And I said, yeah. Or no, he didn't even know that I had the candles. And he said, I am doing these candles. And I go, you are? And he said, yeah. And, well, what was so funny was, I had tweeted something out about it, and then Perez Hilton bought them, and he put a little video up of it. I was so excited for her. I was like, oh my God, she's getting people to notice her candles. And I don't think it had anything to do with me, honestly, but I was so excited about it. And then, so Rich and I were talking, he was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I have the most exciting thing going on. And I was like, you do? What is it? And he goes, I have these candles coming out. And I go, you have candles coming out? I had candles that came out. And he goes, you had candles that came out? And I go, yeah. And he goes, with who? And I go, the Poorhouse Candle Company. And he goes, oh my God, that's who I have. She reached out to me. And I go, I am so happy that she reached out to you. That is so cool. I cannot believe that we both have candles now. We joke about the candle community. And so then Rich got his candles, and he's actually been very, very good about pumping them out. And he markets the hell out of those things more than I do. And I'm going to do a better job because I really believe in these candles and they're so fantastic. So anyway, so we got laughing so hard about it. So I had reached out to her and I said, hey, you know, like, do you want to do another candle or something? And she's like, I thought we would have like 5 or 10 candles by now. And so we're going to do another candle and I'm really excited. I told her what the scent is that I would like. And I already suggested a name for the candle. And it's going to be my summer collection candle. So just get ready. I'm really excited about this. And I was telling Rich, and he was like, girl, you got a summer collection? I want a summer collection. He goes, I already have a summer candle coming out. We were laughing so hard. Isn't that cool, though? I mean, I never in a million years, I mean, honest to God, like, you talk about, like, the stuff that, like, you start this world, and it's, like, the things that are kind of surreal. And it's, like, sure, you get to meet a lot of these people that, like, you never really, that, you know, I never would have ever in a million years thought that I was gonna meet. You know, like that is surreal. Like, that's really, really cool. But like meeting Amelia Fart, like, that was so cool to me, meeting Trisha Paytas. But the reality is, like, Trisha Paytas and Amelia Fart haven't been on my, you know, what do you call it? On my, shoot. Bucket list, so to speak, you know, for long. I mean, I haven't even known of them for long, right? But, like, to have a candle, like, if you had asked me 10 years ago, if you had told me 10 years ago, you're going to have a candle named after you, and I've been like, you're crazy. What? I would have died. And the fact that this woman was so nice to offer me this opportunity, I mean, it just makes me so happy, and I just love that stuff. That's the stuff that's so cool. So, yep. You can expect a summer collection from Peter Monn and Rich Lux coming to you very, very soon. And she's sending me some goodies, she said, some new candles. So I am going to, but since we're doing another candle, she's going to take the candle waxes down. So if you want to buy candle waxes, I will say this, of my candles, go in there and buy them quickly. But I will say this about her, candle waxes are good, but her candles are better. So anyway, I'm excited about that. That happened today. What else happened? Okay, so anyway, was I talking about Elle Leary? Yeah, Elle, fantastic, love her. One of the most motivational, inspirational people ever. She just is always just so... Whenever we talk, she's always just like, you should do this and you should do that. I'm like, how does she think of this stuff? Like, she's so fantastic. So I will link her channel below. Go check her out. She is one of the most just beautiful, she's one of the most beautiful souls I've ever met in my life. I am going to finish The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo tonight. I have exactly 2 hours left, and I'm staying up until I get it done. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to bed early. I don't know how I'm going to vlog. I'm going to have to vlog throughout the day, but I'm going to bed early tomorrow night, and I'm going to get a really good night's sleep. That's my plan for Thursday night. And then Friday night, Alex and I have this event that we're going to. I may vlog some of it. We'll have to see. And, I probably will vlog some of it, honestly. And then Saturday, I wonder what I'm going to wear to that thing on Friday night. I don't think it's super dressy. I just have to wear something that's kind of... I mean, it's always a reason to buy something, a new outfit. And I'm slimmer than I was. Oh my God. I'll find something cute to wear. So anyway, and then Saturday, Alex is so excited. There's been this event that he's wanted to go to in Indianapolis forever. And it's like impossible to get tickets to this thing. Because there's like boards that like pick who they're going to invite and stuff. And I would love to go with him, but I don't have the desire that he does, honestly. I mean, I really don't. Like, he gets so excited about these big galas and stuff like that. I'm just like, I mean, if you want to go, babe, I'll go with you. Like, that's kind of, I'm like totally that husband, you know? But I mean, like, hey, if you want to go, I'll go with you, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really that excited about it. And, so, Anyway, he called me. I went to Meijer and I was getting my stuff. Then he also wanted peanuts, so I picked him up peanuts. And I always, like, I'm so confused at the store. Like, if anybody else out there does this with their husband, wife, or partner, let me know. But, like, I was, like, at the store, and I have bought him peanuts forever. And every time I buy him peanuts, I never know if he likes dry roasted or lightly salted. I know he doesn't like them when they have tons and tons of salt on them. But I was sitting there and I was like, I think he likes lightly salted, but I always buy dry roasted, unsalted. And so tonight I bought the lightly salted and I brought him home. And I said, you know, I never asked you this. I mean, literally, I've been doing this now for, 2 years or something. Since I've been buying him peanuts, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. And I've never once asked because, like, so many years ago, he said to me, like, will you pick me up some dry roasted peanuts? And so ever since then, whenever he says peanuts, I just get them. And I've always, So tonight, I got the lightly salted ones because I thought to myself, I think I've been wrong all this time. And I got home and he goes, no, it's the dry roasted peanuts. I don't like the lightly salted ones. I was like, oh, I bought the wrong peanuts. But can I just tell you how good that container of peanuts looked? It looked so good. I'm not struggling, though, at all. Like, that's the thing. I just need to find some different options for, like, my lean and green meal. I actually bought a different kind of salad dressing tonight. I bought this Italian something. It's at Ken's Steakhouse. Is that what it's called, brand? It's the same thing as the other one. It has, like, 1 carb, 4.5 grams of fat. It's, like, 45 calories and, like, 1 gram of protein. It's, like, exactly like the other one that I'm using. And I can have 2 tablespoons of it. And it was fine. It was nothing like that salad dressing I had at Patashu on Sunday. I swear to God, if I go in there, because I know they don't. I know they don't. They sell their coffee. But I was like, if they sell that salad dressing, I would hands down buy it. Like, it really just... And I would have arugula salad every day, even though I don't love arugula. But it was so good. But, I also might just have to, like, instead of, like, going to Ruth's Cafe, I might have to go over to Patashu and do that. There's this girl here in Indianapolis that I just, like, adore, this woman. And she's so adorable. And she has, like, a style, like a lifestyle blog. She does it all on Instagram. She actually has a YouTube channel, too. But mostly she does it all on Instagram. And so Alex was out one night, and she travels all over the world. She does all this really cool stuff. And so he was out one night, and she came up to him, and she was like, oh my God, you're Peter Monn's husband? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, do you know my husband? And she was like, I watch all of his videos. And she's like a huge, like, fan of a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that. So anyway, so they talked, and she was like, they filmed a little video, and then he sent it to me, showing me this video of them, like, saying hi. And I don't know why this person is stopping just right in the middle of the road. So anyway, so then I reached out to her, like, probably, like, we started following each other on Instagram. She had already followed me on Instagram, so I started following her. Her pictures are gorgeous. And then, like, 2 months later, like, I reached out to her one day, and I was like, would you ever like to get together for lunch and stuff like that? Like, I'd love to know, like, what you do, and, because she's just very active on her Instagram blog. Like, she does post pictures every day, and I don't know, that kind of intrigues me a little bit. I'd like to get more into that. And so I was like, would you like to meet and, like, just, like, talk and stuff like that? And plus, I mean, I could always, use more people to hang out with. So she texted me and was like, we should get together sometime, like, in the next couple of weeks. I was like, yeah, I have to get together with my friend from high school. Like, that is a mandatory. And I also have my friend here in town that has been, like, begging me to get to lunch together. So I have, like, 3 lunches I have to plan. See, I'm not good at that lunch thing. Like, because, like, if I say, I have to, like, the problem is, especially now with having training twice a week, I really only have, because, like, Fridays are horrible days for me. And then, so I only ever have Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, I don't love to go do lunch because I have my meeting in the evening, which really means I only have Thursdays. And And my one friend who I love, but she and I, we can eat. Okay, let me just tell you. Well, she doesn't really eat as much as I do, but she orders a lot of food. And we're the ones that were going to open the restaurant called Buffet. That Buffet or Buffet. It was going to be spelled Boofay, and it was literally going to have every food in the entire world that you wanted on it. It was going to have like Whoppers from Burger King, and it was going to have steaks, macaroni and cheese, like all different kinds. And then it was going to have, you know, fried chicken and different kinds of cakes and Taco Bell. It was going to be the world's biggest buffet, because we always call buffets buffets. I need to make plans with her because I've been meaning to forever. And then my friend from high school, I definitely need to make plans with her. And then this girl that I reached out to, and then she just got back from being on vacation. She's like, when are we gonna have lunch? I need to make plans with her too. So got some fun stuff coming up. It was funny that, like, was at the end, it stopped. I don't even remember talking in my video yesterday. Oh, I do remember talking about it, I guess, now, about my voice. And I think I was talking about, like, was it yesterday's vlog where I was talking about, I mean, I've talked about my voice a lot in my vlogs, but that something that people, oh yeah, it was yesterday's vlog, because I was talking about how something that I was ridiculed for all of my life, now people, like, go to sleep to, and how cool that is. And you know, it just makes me so happy. And I got like one comment on it, and it was a nice comment, but somebody was like, your voice on your drama channel is higher pitched and something else, and your voice on your vlog is more like subdued and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people are like, who is the real Peter, and blah, 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 whatever, okay? 100%, this is who I am, right? But, like, I have moments with my friends where I would call it, like, back in the day, I used to call it girling out, because I say girl a lot, and, you know, and just all of that lingo that I used back in the day. So if I'm talking on the phone, like Tanya and I don't do it so much, but I do get into it I do, like, kind of use, you know, I'd be like, I mean, like, if we're, like, getting our nails done, right? Like, let's just say we're getting a pedicure and we're sitting there reading the magazines, and I'll be like, girl, did you hear that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are getting divorced? Like, this time it's for real. Did you hear it? And she'll be like, well, what happened? I'll be like, I can't even. I mean, these two, like, girl, it is, you know? And so, that's very much my drama channel, right? Like, that is my drama channel. But that's a side of me as well, too. Like, if I'm talking to, like, any one of my friends, like, if I'm talking to Rich on the phone or something like that, like, I'll talk to him that way. Be like, girl, you are crazy. You know what I mean? Like, we're geeking, you know? That's what it is. And, it's just having a fun time. So yes, that's an extension of my personality, but I wouldn't say that that's who I am 24 hours a day. This is who I am when I'm driving around in the car with my friend Tanya and whatever. But that doesn't mean that I won't be like, are you kidding me? Like that, if Tanya and I are talking and get exaggerated, if we're having fun and we're talking, you know what I mean? That channel is me, like, if I am out with, like, my girlfriends, okay? Or, you know, back in the day, my, you know, gay guy friends, and we're going out to the bars and clubs, and we're out to dinner, and we're just having fun, gossiping, talking. That's what that channel is. It's, you know, it is Tanya and I sitting in the kitchen talking about, like, something that we've read in Us magazine. That's what that channel is. And for me, and that's why I love it, because it allows me to be that on that channel. You know, like, unafraid to be that person that I was afraid to be for so much of my life, that I could only be in a car with one of my gay guy friends, or in a car with my girlfriends, you know, that I could be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't be that. I couldn't be that around other people, because people would stop and look at me. And so that channel allows me to be that. And yes, I do just describe myself as a drama commentary channel, because that is what I do over there. But, I mean, I do commentary about YouTube drama, and a lot of times beauty influencer drama. But, that's my channel to, like, be and have fun, if that makes sense. So anyway, So it's not like that's not really who I am. That's just an extension of who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? I think most people get it. And yeah, my voice just kind of go into octaves that I sometimes forget exist when I'm talking to my girlfriends on the phone or whatever, you know. I'm like, girl, It's funny because some of that lingo, you know, has been around, like literally been around forever. And I can remember when I first came out, and like all the words that, you know, I heard back in the day, you know, that now it's all like associated with RuPaul's Drag Race. But the funny thing is it's, and a lot of it did like come from drag queens, you know, not RuPaul's drag queens but drag race queens, but drag queens that worked their ass off in bars every weekend for, you know, $100 a night. Some of them beating their own gowns up till the minute that they went on stage because they just wanted a chance to be in the spotlight, you know. And I think I've always thought there was something very kind of glamorous but very tragic at the same time about a small town bar queen. And I've seen my fair share, like going from town to town to town with other friends of mine that were performing, you know, and that just, you know, these drag queens that would do anything just to get on stage, you know, and be in the spotlight for a few moments and have people just adore them. And they do seem like celebrities, you know. Like I can remember when I first came out in 1990, and my girlfriend that I had known since, like, you know, not my girlfriend, but my like elementary, junior high, high school, college, that one. She had a gay guy friend who was just getting started, like doing some drag stuff, and so like he was going to do like an amateur show, and so I met some friends of his that were also drag queens here in town. And the very first gay bar that I ever went to was this bar on Meridian. I'm just going to share these places in case you're from Indianapolis. You'll know where I'm talking about. If you're not, then it won't really matter. But it's, anyway. So, and it was a bar called Tomorrow's. And it doesn't exist anymore, but it was right next to Wendy's. And it was this little dive of a bar. You literally walked in and the bar was to the right. And then there was like chairs and tables and this small little stage. And the dressing rooms were in the back. And that was it. And it was Wednesday night, I remember. And we went to this bar, and my friend, her friend said, "You're going to carry this drag queen's drag in, and then nobody will question you about it." And I just carried it in. And you have to understand, like, I came out when I was 18, you guys. I looked 18 when I was 18. I looked 16 when I was 18. I mean, I looked young, okay? I looked really, really young. And I don't even think that I really started having, this is so funny because today, like, you know, I have like really hairy arms and stuff, which they only go here, and I don't really have a hairy chest. I mean, a little bit, but not much, or anything. And like, I didn't grow any facial hair until I was like, I think like 21. It was like late. Come on, light. But anyway, I looked I looked young, so they were like, well, we'll carry your, and he was actually the person whose information I used to get a fake ID. And so I carried this drag queen's drag into the bar, no questions asked. And then we were just like back in the, the dressing room. And then when the show started, and I remember we went in there at like 7:30 or 8 or something early, 6. I don't know, it was early. We were there for a long time because I was a little buzzed by the time I walked. I mean, that was like, honest to God, like when you have one of those nights that's like, you feel like you've discovered yourself. I've seen moments like this in movies before, where they show a very similar scene, and like of a gay guy going out to a gay bar for the very first time, and like that, it always reminds me of this night, because we sat back there in the dressing room, and I was back there with my girlfriend, and then all these drag queens who, you know, later would become friends of mine, and God, I don't even know where any of these people are today, but I hate this light on this camera. But it was like, you know, Gina Jones and Jamie Hunter and Stacey Stevens and Samantha Sinclair and Blake Adams and I mean, Lena Myers. These drag queens that, like, I just would watch them on stage, and they just seemed like glamorous celebrities to me, you know? Like, they seemed like, well, honest to God, like, not even Vegas showgirls. They seemed like Jennifer Lopez, or, I mean, they seemed like that level, you know? And then they would get off, and, like, they would walk around, and people would just be like, you know, Lena, Jamie, and they were celebrities within the community, you know? And to just be, like, their friends, even just remotely, to kind of know them was very cool, you know? And I didn't even know them as well as some of the people did, you know? Later, I became very, very good friends with a couple of drag queens in Indianapolis, Austria Andrews and stuff. But before that, I wasn't super close to them. I mean, I knew them. I was good friends. We ran the same circles. We all had, like, they have these chili dinners on Sunday nights and all that kind of stuff. Before that, I didn't. But I remember that very first night. I remember we were back in the dressing room, and I don't remember what we were drinking, but they weren't like, but it was something that was kind of citrusy, but it wasn't like kind of fruity, a little bit citrusy. It kind of like was reminiscent of like a Long Island, but it wasn't a Long Island. I don't remember what it was, but it's so weird because I can't see the glass from like that night in my head, but I can see like ordering it later what it was. And I almost think it was like a margarita on the rocks. I almost kind of think that's like what it was. But anyway, so we sat back there and, you know, drank a little bit, smoked a little weed, and by the time that, you know, I had walked in and the light's shining through the glass door in the front, right? And it looked like a dingy, dirty old bar. And 3-4 hours later, you know, it's a packed nightclub, and I walk out with my girlfriend to go sit at a table so we can watch the show, and it is this fiercely lit up dirty dive bar, but it looks to me like, I mean, I've never seen something like this before, you know? And there's this stage, and there's an MC, and we walked in right as the show started, and there's this MC, and she's heckling us, and, you know, it's like, it's great. And then all of these girls I've just seen in the back room, they're coming out there, and they're just, you know, they're singing or lip syncing, and people are applauding them, and they seem famous, and people are loving it, and everybody in the bar is packed, and it's hot and sultry, and, you know, there's guys there that are looking at me, and, you know, and I feel good about myself, and I feel safe in an environment for the first time that, you know, I can be who I want to be, and the music is good, and, you know, and I felt like I fit in for the first time, you know? And I remember that night. Like, I really, really remember that night. And just, it was really kind of my, like, to some degree, like, my de-virginizing of my acceptance of myself, I think, you know? And, I don't even know when it was. I think that would have been like July, August of the year that I was that I just turned 18. I literally had just turned 18. Because I turned 18 in June. And then I got a fake ID and I started going out to the bars. And that's all they wrote right there. Okay, that's why you don't want to do that. And by the time I was 21, I was tired of going to bars. I was so tired of it. Because I was going out to bars, clubs, everything, 4, 5, 6 nights a week. I was going out so much. I was so over it. I think that's sometimes why today I don't love it, like, or I don't miss it, because I did it for so long, you know, like, I did it when I was young. I mean, 18 to 22 and a half. Literally, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 20 to 21, 21 to 22. So 4.5 years, I probably went out the minimum 4 to 5 nights a week. Drank, used drugs every day. And then after I got sober, you know, I didn't go out anywhere for like 2 years. But after that I would, you know, my first boyfriend and I, once I started feeling comfortable enough to do that, we would go out and go to bars. We'd go see drag shows and stuff like that, and I did it again. And then when my friend moved back to go to medical school, he and I would go out. Not a lot, but like, you know, sometimes, but not a lot. And then when Alex and I, when my ex and I started dating, we used to go to the Connection in Louisville. Like the first year that we dated, because he lived in Seymour, and I, like on the weekends that I was with him, which sometimes was every weekend for a while, or every other weekend, but when I was with him, I would drive down there, and then we would go to the Connection on the weekend, which is a gay bar in Louisville. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was a lot of fun. It was like a bar complex. They had like 5 bars in one. It was so much fun. And then a lot of the people that you actually see on RuPaul's Drag Race, I saw for the first time at the Connection. Like Alyssa Edwards, I saw there for the first time. Who else did I see for the first time at Connection? I saw her in a pageant there against Miss Erica Andrews, who was she was transgender, but she was my favorite female impersonator of life. She passed away a few years ago. She was Roxy Andrews, drag mother. And then, I'm trying to think of who else has been on that show that I know from pageants. Kennedy Davenport. There's been, Asia O'Hara. There's been quite a few. Back in the day, it was more than it is now, but tomorrow night's RuPaul's Drag Race night. I love that. I love that show. So anyway, but yeah, you know, it was just a different world. How did I even get into talking about that tonight? But it's weird, you know, like I'm sitting here thinking about telling that story and like the first night in the bar, and then here I am talking about before, you know, like my Peter Monn channel, and that channel, like I can be myself, you know what I mean? And like I do love that over there, you know. It's like I can flip a fan, I can talk stupidly on this fake phone, you know, and have this conversation that's not real, and you know, I can talk to I always say conch, but then people are like, it's a conch shell. To a conch shell, you know? Like, I mean, and I can tell stupid, silly jokes and sing songs, and I have so much fun on that, doing that. It's like the review channel. I have fun too, you know? And it's like, and I'm allowed to be myself. I know I've talked a lot about Rich, but he's been a very dear friend to me through the years, and it's really just nice to have him as a friend, you know, and the majority of what we talk about has absolutely nothing to do with YouTube. But, you know, we sometimes give each other suggestions, and he said, I would just really like you to, like, really, like, fem it up on camera. And I go, Rich, I think I fem it up on camera enough. He was like, girl, no. He was like, you need to, like, really just go off. I just one video on your Peter Monn channel, I just want you to really, really go off. I just want you to really fem it up. And I go, Rich, I do that in every video, you know? And he goes, no, he goes, girl, you're butch. He goes, I want you to not be butch for 1 second. And I'm like laughing on the phone, right, that he called me butch. And he goes, I mean, he goes, you are. He goes, like, if you're not if you weren't talking or, you know, whatever, moving your, you know, hands, he goes, like, you're really, really butch. He's like, you wear those, like, big fry boots, and, you know, you always have the hat on and the beard. He's like, you dress very butch. You don't dress, like, effeminate. And I'm like, Rich, I go, I think you might be the only person in the entire world who has ever used the word butch to define me. And he's like, Alex doesn't think of you as butch? I go, no, Alex doesn't think of me as butch. And we don't care. Like, this whole kind of, like, you know, it's so interesting to me, this whole idea that, and Rich is probably right. If I probably went through the roof and was like, I mean, people would probably eat it up and think it was hilarious, but, I mean, and that really is not me. Then I really would be putting on a character, you know? But my husband and I, you know, like, I think that, like, gender roles are it's such an interesting discussion to have, you know, like, when we talk about, like, what masculinity is or what femininity is, and we have these, like, stereotypes, you know, that, like, a man does this or a woman does that, or this is how a man acts or this is how a woman acts, right? And so we equate that to being effeminate or being butch, like in a gay relationship, when I really think that my husband and I, and we've talked about it and he agrees, are pretty much like down the middle. There are definitely things that, if we want to use those words to apply them, that I don't think they are. There are definitely things that I am more butch about than he is. I think it would actually surprise people. Like, when it comes to, like, bugs or snakes or mice running around the house or, you know, like, stuff like that. Like, Alex kind of freaks out about all that stuff. This light tonight, it's got to be for my t-shirt. Because sometimes, depending on what t-shirt I have, it, like, tunes the light out. But, like, Alex really freaks out about that stuff, you guys. Like, I mean, he's like, oh, no, I can't. Okay, I can't. But, like, I'm not like that. But when it comes to, like, me being scared about, like ghost story kind of stuff, like, that's me. I'm that person, right? But, you know, like, I've never looked at my husband in those moments and found him to be less attractive because, you know, like, he's talking to Sarah on the phone and they're talking, like, you know, in the way that they talk, or, you know, that his sensitive side comes out, or, first of all, I don't assign sensitivity and emotional, feelings of emotion. I'm not talking about, like, crying, sensitivity, things like that. I don't assign that to femininity. I just don't. I was taught at a very young age that boys cry too. You know, my parents were not people that shamed me for crying, ever. I wasn't somebody that cried a lot as a kid, but when I wasn't shamed for it. So I don't see that as a feminine or masculine trait. But, you know, it's always interesting to me about that. But it cracks me up that Rich sees me as butch, because that's just I don't see myself that way. But I can't get very butch if you guys would like me to. No. But anyway, I do kind of like my voice like this, though. Although, like, my throat hurts a little bit, and it's itching, and so I do believe that it is my allergies. But like Kathleen Turner, I would be okay if my voice kind of stayed like this forever. Because I do think I like this voice a little bit. But anyway, it is, like, perfect for, like, a late night radio show host. Hi. That kind of sounded a little spooky, but welcome to Late Night Chat with Peter Monn. Tonight, we're going to talk about serial killers across America. Is there a serial killer in your neighborhood? Now there's people that are like, Peter, you're getting me scared. Stop. But I think that's one thing that's great about, like, Alex and I, is, like, that's never been an issue that's come into it, you know, and I've never been, like... And the other thing is, like, when Alex, like, when he finds people attractive, it typically isn't people that are, like, if Alex found people attractive that were, like, super, super masculine, I think that, like, I would be intimidated by that, right? But one of the people that, like, Alex thinks is just super hyper attractive, and it's not just for his physical looks, I mean, the guy is gorgeous, but it's also just about his being and, like, the video, because he loves his videos. He's probably the only YouTuber that Alex really watches, and that is Kyle Krager. Alex loves him. And he, just sat there and bawled when he did the story about his dog passing away. It's gonna stop, hold on. Okay. Anyway, Alex just adores Kyle Krager, and I adore Kyle Krager too. It would mean so much to me to do like some kind of collab video with him talking about being in recovery, because he talks about being in recovery as well. He just is a really nice guy. You can tell he's just such a sweet, nice guy. But his voice, like mine, it is more effeminate, you know, and I love that my husband like doesn't even notice it. You know what I mean? And I love that about Alex, that he sees people for what they are, what they have, you know, and like just those things don't bother him. And so yeah, you know, I think we get so stuck in that. It's like, you know, a long time ago, like when I first came out, it was very much like this whole idea of like who's a top and who's a bottom and what does that mean, like in the gay community, was such a huge thing. It was like so huge. And then like your straight friends would ask you, you know, like, well, who's the catcher and who's the pitcher and all that kind of stuff, you know, who's the husband, who's the wife, which all those questions are so stupid to me. But anyway, stupid to me because for me, and I'm just like, if this is too much information, okay, but people always want to know anyway. It depends on the relationship. It changes, you know, and gender roles change in relationships. So you can't ask the question, who's the husband and who's the wife? I mean, I think if you ask that to a heterosexual question, I mean, what we're implying is, you know, who takes on more of the masculine role and who takes more on the feminine role in a relationship. Well, hell, there's heterosexual couples that I know that the roles are switched based on what we believe from these 1950s kind of stereotypes, right? So I don't play into any of that whatsoever. But it's interesting that we've come so full circle, you know, and we talk about all these different levels of, you know, identification where people identify, you know, as, you know, gay, lesbian, bisexual, you know, asexual, pansexual. There's all of these different, you know, questioning, all these different things that people identify as, right? Okay. And to some degree, like the other day I was like in a video and I got like real effeminate in the video, and like there was a comment on there, it was like 4 down, and it was from like a younger guy, right? And he commented, he goes, "You're definitely a bottom." And I thought, see, this is what's wrong right here, okay? Because it's not that I have any, like, I don't take offense to that statement whatsoever, but it's assuming what that statement says is there's something wrong with you because you're more effeminate than somebody else. Like, we're assigning those roles to somebody, you know what I mean? That there's something less than because you're acting effeminate. And so, you know, effeminate people, whatever. Hey, listen, I've met my fair share of super masculine guys that would surprise you what they like in the bedroom, you know? So, and I've met my very fair share of effeminate guys that would surprise you with what they like in the bedroom. So those stereotypes are so dated, and then we really, what's so sad about that is that we apply it to gender roles, you know? And that is the one difference, I think. I mean, I think in 2019, I think heterosexual couples and gay couples are very similar in a lot of ways. I really, really do. And I think that us getting to where we're getting today with acceptance by a lot of people, you know, I can remember, like, when I first started this vlog a couple years ago, I got this message from somebody. It was so endearing. It was from this woman, and she was like, you know, I started watching your videos on your drama channel because, I can't even remember how she said it, so I'm just paraphrasing the whole thing. But basically, she said, I started watching your videos on your drama channel because I like beauty influencers and all that kind of stuff, and so I was interested in it. And she was like, I thought you were a funny gay guy, and I liked watching you, and whatever. She said, but I am an evangelical Christian, and I think that homosexuality is wrong. And she said, and I really have always struggled with that my entire life. Like, I've judged people for that, and I thought that was wrong. And she said, I started watching your vlog, I heard you talk about your husband, and she had watched it over like 6 or 7 months, and she had watched my other videos and stuff like that. And she said, and what I realized was you really are no different than anybody else, and that your marriage is traditional like anybody else's. And, you know, she said, you really changed my thinking. And she had even gone, I think I did a video about it, I may have read something about this, but she even went so far as to, like, take it to her church. And I thought, I'm like, this is like wow, like that's powerful, you know, that this woman had this change like that. And then I got to be part of that. Like, it's so awesome, right? Like, I just, what, you know, talk about being talk about an honor and a privilege. And I think that's the thing, is as far as we've come in 2019 with realizing that gay couples and, you know, lesbian couples and whatever are no different than heterosexual couples, there's a lot, well, I think still even with heterosexual people, I think is the majority of, I think, my analytics say y'all are 90% women, so I think that, and I don't know, 10% just people with fake accounts that don't watch my channel anymore. So anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I think the majority of people that watch my vlog and watch my videos are probably heterosexual women. I would guess that, right? So, hey girls, what's up? Hey girls. Thank you for saving my life and being my friends, because if it wasn't for my girlfriends in my life, honest to God, I don't know that I would be here right now. I really, really don't. I'm so thankful for the girlfriends, you know, women, mother, sister, mentors that I've had in my life. I just feel so blessed for it. But I think that the pendulum is switching a little bit, you know, and I think that it's weird to me when I see it sometimes a little bit. It's almost like heterosexual people are like, we don't really give a shit that you're gay. We don't really care. Not just me, I'm talking about in general. We don't give a shit if you're gay. We don't care, you know, like a lot of people. I know that there is, you know, there's a lot of people out there that still do not believe this. I get that, right? But that there's a lot of people in America, specifically, and definitely around the world, that are like, we don't care, be gay, you know, do your thing, do whatever you want to do. And it's not even, but leave us out of it. It's not even that. It's like, hey, we're happy for you. Do what you want, you know? But I think it's coming back the other way in the gay community. And I think it's the gay community. And not so much, I would say, I think it's like the younger generation that's kind of like judging each other. And, you know, like it's this whole, it's so weird to me that this whole thing that, like, I fought when I first came out in 1990 is so coming out that, again, you know, that we're applying roles to people by stuff and assigning masculinity and femininity. I mean, we have fought so hard, you know, like, literally since Stonewall, you know, we have fought so, way before that, of people being in the closet for hundreds and hundreds of years, you know, so hard for people to be who they want. And especially, I would say, like in the last 20 years, people have fought so hard to be whatever they want to be on the LGBTQIA plus spectrum and live it loudly and proudly and be happy with it, to just get to the end of the road and be like, let's base it on stereotypes. Why did we do all the work? You know? I'm too old and not that invested that when people do it, I don't even have the time to put them in their place. I just don't. But it's ignorant, you know? And it's like, we've come so far. I mean, hell, if straight people don't care, why do gay people care? Like, what is that about? You know what I mean? Then we're working against our own people. Never understood that. I've never really understood that. And I will tell you, one of the things that's really sad is that when I first came out, and maybe it was because it was on the heels of the AIDS crisis that had occurred, or I don't know, maybe it was a different era, but the gay community wasn't cliquey, you know, it just wasn't. And I wouldn't say I'm really part of it. Like, I don't really have any gay friends. I don't think I have any gay friends in Indianapolis, that maybe one or two, but, or three, but yeah, I mean, but not people that I see on a regular basis, you know. Other than that, a couple people I talk to on the phone and stuff like that are old friends, but like, I'm definitely not part of any kind of gay community here in town, other than the fact that I'm gay and I'm married to a man. But like, I don't go out to any gay bars. I don't, you know, I would. I don't really have any gay friends to do that with. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't have any gay guy friends to go out and do stuff with. I wish I did sometimes. You know, I think it'd be fun. But But I love my girlfriends too, and we do the same things that I could do. You know what I mean? So it's, to me, I'm at the point where people are people, and I'd rather just be with people that I love, and it's not about all that. But I'm not part of that, and I will say that it feels very, very cliquey, not just in Indianapolis, but I'm sure it's everywhere, because I've gotten emails about that specifically, that people are like, you know, I feel like I go out, and if I don't look like a certain way, then people don't want to be my friend, and if, you know, or if I'm not into this, or I'm not into that. And I just think that we've become so segmented within the gay community that, like, there's this type, and this type, and this type, and this type, and this type. It's almost like high school, you know, and you've got the stoners, and the popular crowd, and the drama people, and the marching band people, and, you know, you got all these different people, and so nobody can really all get along. And I think that's kind of what's happened a little bit. You know, we need to maybe get back to realizing, well, finding our unity a little bit. Because we work so hard at uniting the front between heterosexual people and gay people, and that we did that, because I do feel like we've done that. Like, I don't feel like I really, to be honest with you, when I first came out in 1990, and you have to talk, I mean, we're talking, you know, 20 years, 21 years on the heels, 21 years on the heels of Stonewall, something like that, that I was, in 1990, there were nights that I was afraid to walk down streets, because I was afraid that I would be, you know, assaulted or killed for being gay. I don't ever feel like that. Never. Never, 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 never. I don't, you know, I just don't ever feel that way. And, I mean, we've come a really long way. You know, all of my friends are straight, and Alex and I being a husband and husband, they just don't even care. Like, it's just, this is not, I mean, it's just, there's no issue, you know what I mean? Like, it just, there's no issue whatsoever. And so it's almost kind of weird to me to even talk about. But I know that our experience is not everybody's experience. You know, I get a lot of emails from people that are like, I can't be out. Like, my family will never accept it. And so, you know, what makes me really sad is that even though we've made these leaps and bounds and we've come so far, there are still so many people that are forced to have to live in the closet. And for them, it might as well be 1955. You know what I mean? It might as well be, because they can't. And it breaks my heart for them. So anyway, I don't know how I got on all that, talking about my voice and talking about the drama channel and all that. But I think I've actually vlogged for quite some time now, and so I'm going to get off here and listen to my book. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday. Don't have other plans, unless you have other plans, but don't. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And look in the mirror, tell yourself that, tell somebody else that, write a letter to somebody and tell them how much you love them and miss them. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.